his left hand should be under my head, and his right hand should embrace me. So that's ultimately,
Right.
the right hand is eventually gonna be over the left.
Right.
Yahweh Shai.
Right. So I got a couple still got lined up on here. It's good y'all can see it up here. So you gotta really flip unless y'all just want to. I already had it up here, so make it a little bit convenient. You ready to rock?
Yeah, I'm already going.
Oh, hey, the water. All right. So first we're gonna go to we have here Deuteronomy 18 and 10. It says, there shall not be found any among you, anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or an observer of times, or enchanter, or a witch. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now let's go to some of these. Let's go to let's see, Deuteronomy 18. Yeah, 18. I'll go back. 18. Yeah, 18:10. 18:10. We're gonna go to a couple words real quick. All right. Make sure it's not loud.
What song?
Strong's H 7081.
Hey, on the
Kesson.
On the Hebrew, don't do that.
Okay, come.
Yeah. Just sound it out because they're actually speaking Yiddish.
Come. Well, we just go to it.
And that was an order.
Okay, come. Hey.
So just read it.
Got the
What's the word?
Croissant.
Kosam, yeah. So it's Kosam.
Yeah, when I pull up, whoever can read it, Baba Kasha,
Go ahead.
I appreciate it. And I'll just read the definition. Divinations, witchcraft, in a good of nations, Balaam. Okay, it's simple. Now check this out. Let's go to observe times.
It says I-9.
Okay. To make appear. Produce. To practice soothsaying. Conjuring of demons and power on the left hand side to do these things.
What is that?
That's
observing the terms or something like that. What's that word?
What scripture was it?
Deuteronomy 18.
Man, my mind was thinking some crazy
He
shit.
went straight to the Strong's. From that.
Oh, did he read the scripture?
Yeah,
Yeah.
read it. Went straight to the
He read
Strong's. Yeah.
Work tired, man.
I got the definition of conjure too.
Yeah, go ahead.
First definition: call upon
18 and 10.
a spirit or ghost to appear by means of magic ritual. Second definition: make something appear unexpectedly or seemingly from nowhere as if by magic.
Heart.
That ain't what they.
What is it?
Is that not what these magicians on the left hand side are doing?
Right.
They making it appear, bro. That's what they're doing. Making it literally appear through left hand side witchcraft, sorcery. Okay.
Okay, yeah, I only got one.
Right on.
Could I have a piece of paper?
Now let's go back to the other one. Let's see, you have enchanter. So let's go to enchanter. Somebody read it for me. Okay. Is to practice divination, divine, observe times, learn by experience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Fortune telling. Take as an omen.
If you read the scripture, these just
Demonic sacrifices to get power on the left hand side. Fortune telling. How they telling you? You know, I'll give you a perfect example real quick. Years ago, my ex, I was with her, right? And she joined this random church. You know, this right before the truth. And I was in church and I was sitting there and it was a lot of women. I was like the only man there. If I went there to peep out what she kept saying, oh, this woman here, she's so deep. So I went there and I sat in the crowd and this old witch pointed me out and said, there's somebody in here who's questioning if I'm real, this and that. I'm sitting in the back just like. And then she calls me up. She calls me up and she says, why are you running from God? You got a high calling. Then told my wife at the time, a woman at the time, She said, make sure you stay with him in the end times because you're going to need him.
Bro,
That's what she said.
a woman did that with me and Tazama
Yeah.
at church.
Yeah.
A witch. Well, she was a
witch.
so-called,
They
but she
witches.
called me and Tazama up there, and she said, y'all are going to be soldiers of God. I just, just going to write the
Ah.
same thing.
God.
Same thing.
Hey, proving what? They exist, man. And then what you do is look back. You'll look back in your life, and the Most High puts you in a situation where you'll see, oh shit, that was a witch, but you didn't see it then. That's why it all goes back to the scriptures, man. In reality, so you see, to observe the signs or omens. Okay. Now let's go to the next scripture. Next scripture is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 31.
What was it? What was that last word we went into?
The what?
What was that last word we went into?
Last word went to was observe.
Observe the time.
Yeah,
You said Leviticus what chapter?
19 verse 31.
Right here. I'm on the conjure too.
Okay. It says, regard not them that have familiar spirits, neither seek after wizards to be defiled by them. I'm the Lord Yahweh, your God. Now let's go into familiar spirits. All right.
The word is Iwab.
Oh, wow, right?
Yeah, Awab, yeah.
There you go.
Necromancer. That's who had sex with dead people.
Mm-hmm.
Did it say that?
Yeah.
Damn.
Necromancer.
Necrophilia.
One who invokes the dead. Ghost.
Yeah.
Spirit of the dead. Practice of it. One that has a familiar spirit.
What's it? Dia de las Muertas.
Saul did that with
Yep.
And-
He sure did.
Because you remember, he kicked all the witches out.
Yep, he did.
He kicked all the witches out. Then after that, he went and got one.
What type of shit is that, man?
In that scripture say regard. You know
When
when you
y'all-
regard
y'all,
something, you
yeah.
don't pay
Yup.
attention. When you regard, it said regard not. So the scripture telling you, hey, look, you better believe it. Basically.
Yep.
Oh,
Now right here on the Google, actually going to the Google word on it. So somebody can read it.
Necromancer.
Necro means dead.
Yeah, okay, con.
A person. Oh, Salaki.
Go ahead out.
A person who practices necromancy, a wizard or magician, sorcerer, sorceress, black magician, wizard, warlock, witch, enchantress, occultist, diviner, spiritualist, which is the exact same. Spiritualism was one of the first definition we looked up in Deuteronomy 18 and 10.
Con.
Medium. And that,
What's that word mean? Thaumaturge? Thaumaturgist?
I don't know.
Look that up. Thaumaturge.
Element
They
with
were
it.
Yeah,
Element with it.
He'd have made this shit.
That word warlock. Warlock. That's what them 33rds be. What's the name? You know, remember Phil Jackson? I typed in Phil Jackson Warlock. It's a picture of him. He got the Grand Reaper suit on.
Damn.
Magic on the left hand
Oh,
side,
yeah,
basically.
yeah,
For
he did that
non-religious purposes.
It's,
Right.
Left hand magic.
it's,
But not the right hand person.
Right, right.
is a capability of a magician or a saint to work magic or miracles. Isaac Bonewitz defined thaumaturgy as the use of magic or non-religious purpose, the art and science, Scientology, of wonder working, using magic to actually change things in the physical world.
This is what they're tapping into.
That's what we just saw the dude
Yep.
in the face.
That's what we saw.
Yeah, we saw that. What they call it?
Yeah.
Thermoturgy.
Khan.
And
Thaumaturgy.
Bro, that's heavy.
That's what
you
they
believe
do.
that he is, you believe this.
Right.
Mm.
It's all a part of it.
It's all a part
It's in the same pot, man.
This is
You
part of
gotta
Esau.
be weird to make it, bro. You gotta be crazy. You gotta be
Yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
You got to.
you.
Yeah.
Right.
But this goes into
My
that,
man.
that fruit, that forbidden fruit. You know what I'm saying? Knowing good and evil, and that, now we know the whole spectrum of it.
Con.
The Apple
Man, that shit.
sign, the logo, is going into that forbidden.
Right.
Yep,
Right.
exactly.
Apple was big
Demonicness.
wisdom.
Who else?
When I was in the world, that shit used to intrigue me a lot. I had this white chick. She was like a witch. She used to do them tarot cards. Bitch had me in the bathroom one night. We was staring like in the mirror. She said, "Staring my third eye." We were looking at that shit. That bitch face changed into like a lion, and that shit went back regular. I was like, "Ooh."
Bro,
Time
look
to
at
roll.
somebody upside down. Like,
Yeah.
Bro, their face will like start turning upside down.
Mm-hmm.
That shit's scary. We can do it now. This shit crazy.
Man.
You did that before?
I know what you're talking
got a
about.
brother, so you
they'll,
did it.
they'll turn the pictures upside down. Oh, I've even seen it like in
No,
elementary
you stand
school.
over somebody right now.
Yeah.
Look at their face.
You'll see something else.
Bro, you gonna start getting freaked out.
God damn.
Do it.
I'm good.
You will bug out
Spell
after
like
about like 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You go, I can't do this shit no more. The face. Let's do it.
That might be some Chinese.
Let's do it, bro. Fuck that shit.
I'll
Do it.
Yeah, I'm
Okay. Watch this shit.
And while y'all
Like this on the ground, just lay on the ground.
and while y'all are doing that, even these phones we have right now and these TVs, you know how the apostles always go into how this is our version of the Urim and the Thummim. You really sit back and think this is a black screen right here. It's a form of technology, but for some sort of reason you see a picture through it and everything, and it gets on your mind. Like this technology, it can bug you out. You have access to things that you have no business accessing, and for some reason it's black. You hit a button, pictures come up and everything. This is all witchcraft, man. Thank you. It's a form of witchcraft.
Absolutely.
But the Heavenly Father also too used it for our benefit as well, because at the end of the day, like for the Urim and the Thummim,
That shit crazy.
very similar technology.
Right.
You know,
Right.
so the witches really used it on the left hand side, and you know,
Yeah, but that's true. The TV, all that stuff, but then we all know that's part of his will. The left and right is all intertwined in his will overall.
yeah, yep.
But yeah, the TV is number witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the way they, man,
Yeah.
turn it on, you get a
The
full
lighting,
picture.
the-
You get a picture out of nowhere.
flashes.
Where is it coming from?
It's a giant
Some
crystal
buttons
ball.
you put together? Come on, bro. You know. So real quick, I got a couple little quick. We're gonna go into this. So if you can read it, somebody can read it real quick.
I get it.
Go ahead.
I know Yahshua was mentioned Esau's these wonders and these workings that
Y'all-
Satan's
y'all-
doing. So the 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, starting verse
I'm sweating.
8. And then shall that wicked be revealed from the Lord whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders.
The women are men, the men are women. Like you got a crush on a fucking tranny brothers. Like you think it's a woman.
Yeah,
and
it
you've been
ain't.
growing up your whole life thinking it was a woman. That's a fucking man. That's what we had.
Yeah.
All of us, bro. We watch, bro. Watch when we figure it out.
That's just like in the garden when it talk, when the Lord asked Adam and Eve, how y'all know y'all was naked? Because they was only supposed to know good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that portal opened up, and the serpent, man, that motherfucker had because matter of fact, I think if we get Genesis 3, we ain't gotta get it, but it's a. I'll find it.
Kinda.
Yeah, y'all just do what y'all do. I'm gonna find it.
Okay, kind
I was want to say, the lying wonders, like the elder mentioned, changing sex on people, that definitely said what? Bringing forth things on a physical plane, right? So that's the lying
What's the
wonders,
biggest deception? Them being in the Holy Land.
Mm-hmm.
That's some serious fucking magic.
Right.
Through paper? Through the paperwork, you
Right.
Letter, people
Right.
That's a lying wonder through paper.
paperwork is witchcraft.
Right.
It don't exist.
Right.
The laws that he puts it on paper and writes it just because he wrote it is law. That shit don't
Think
exist.
Messiah a white man.
Technically, it don't exist.
Yeah, he goes against it anyway.
And he got billions of dollars through stops, through different laws and shit. You
Policy.
go through a yellow light and it turns red because
Yeah.
I wrote it, but it really don't exist.
Right. Right.
Social Security number, it really don't fucking exist. It's all a lie. But the shit's real.
Right.
He just conjures up stuff like we went into.
Right.
He just makes up shit.
Everything that's in front of you is a lie,
Yep, that's true.
but it's real
Right.
at the same time.
It's heavy.
So that's in Genesis 3, and I start at 3. It says, "But the fruit of the tree of knowledge," it said, "But the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, the Most High said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die." Next verse, here come the serpent. "And the serpent said unto the woman, Thou shalt not surely die." You know what I'm saying? And when he told her, "Thou shalt not surely die," that's what opened up that portal for him to go on get in there. Go ahead, you got it.
No. Finish. Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Once he told her that she wasn't gonna die, you know what I'm saying? He followed that up with saying, "For the Most High doth know that in the day that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got good on the right, you got evil on the left. She didn't know nothing about that left
Right.
until the serpent rolled up.
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Con. Now,
You got it.
now, Elder, to what you just said. Now, somebody read this for me.
Leviticus 20:6. And the soul that turneth after such as have familiar spirits, and after wizards to go whoring after them.
And that's what the serpent is a wizard. He's the top wizard.
Mm-hmm.
The top wizard came to Eve
Right.
for her to turn to familiar spirits, to witchcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I will even set my face against that soul and will cut him off from among his people.
That has not happened.
Right.
Adam, what hast thou done?
Mm-hmm.
Started with Eve going and Adam. They followed after witchcraft, man.
Yep.
Yep. And when you get cut off, you're susceptible to all that shit.
Right.
Yep.
All the enchantments and different things that they doing. Because why? Yahweh Shema Shai will give you over to that.
Mm-hmm.
You know. All right, go. Somebody read this too for me.
I got it. Leviticus 20:27, it says, a man also or woman that hath a familiar spirit or that is a wizard shall surely be put to death. The scripture says that you suffer not a wish to live.
Right.
It says they shall stone them with stones, their blood shall be upon them.
So that's evil and wicked to give in to the left hand side for power on the left hand side. That's what this world been doing, and they got us in slavery for that same for the same reason, man. Us going on slave ships and falling off the ship and get eaten by sharks and all the different things, and babies getting fed to alligator. It goes back to witchcraft. Now the Lord say disobedience is that's a sin of witchcraft, right?
So basically, through them doing all these foul acts, they've been opened up to different demons and portals,
Right.
blessing.
Right, man.
Ooh, man,
You
boy.
fuck a child in the ass or fuck an animal. That's showing you showing Satan.
Mhm.
I'm all.
It's whatever. It literally is whatever. Whatever you say, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. When you,
And so then you take the chip on top of that, because that's more witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? Oh boy.
Good.
Yeah, man.
That's definitely action.
Right. Yeah. That's like you said, boy. I want to say because the belief on the right hand side. Oh man, we finna devour the shit out they staff.
Right.
Through the spirit, man.
Right.
straight up.
Con. That's right, man.
That's why you see Jake putting on dresses and shit. They're like,
Yeah.
if I can
Backwards.
I get money. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
Shit, this opens me up to different. I get to see this, that. If I just put on a dress.
Witchcraft.
That's all that is.
Ooh, man.
That's all that is.
Strong divination.
Now check this out in Acts. Actually, you know whoever want to read can read it. Acts 8, chapter 9 through 13. Go ahead.
Acts chapter 8, verse 9. But there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in the same city used sorcery, and bewitched the people of Samaria,
Use sorcery and bewitch the people. Nothing new under the sun. Go ahead.
giving out that himself was some great one.
And that's what they do. These magicians do. I'm so great. Well, how do you do it? Oh, it's a secret I can't tell you.
If I tell you, I have to kill you.
Right. I'm gonna tell you I have to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So, meaning what he doing was working, because for him to, it said, giving out that himself was some great one. For him to even walk around and be puffed up like he's great, that means what he's doing, they're seeing miracles on the left hand side.
Yep. I would say, especially during the time of Acts. You know what I'm saying? Because you had the apostles doing their thing,
Right.
and then you had the sorcerers doing their thing, and all those different things was going on at the same time, man. And it was one truth then, and it's one truth now.
Right, kind. And also, too, think about this, brothers. When Yahweh Shai was doing his miracles, their excuses was, oh, he's doing it through witchcraft.
Yeah, he
showing that they
Beelzebub.
knew that was common.
Yep.
That
Called it
beware.
Beelzebub.
Right. Right.
They knew that a person can do things on the left hand side or on the right hand side
Lord
through
was
Yahweh.
closer to the earth, if you get what I'm saying. Back
Yeah.
then. He was more dealing with man.
Right from the understanding. Yeah.
This time is more based upon faith. You know what I'm saying? We gonna see things, but leading up to this point, it's really the spiritual. You got to be in the spirit to see.
You got to.
But back then, chariots and stuff like that was
God.
amongst Israel. That was they knew what that was.
Angels and spirits
Yeah.
going and
God.
speaking.
Angels coming down, causing earthquake to sitting down. They bow. Oh, snap. Talking to them.
The earth swallowed up Jacob. People saw that.
Miracle, hey, a miracle. That's a miracle to us.
Closed his mouth up until John was born.
All right, verse 10.
Verse 10, to whom they all gave heed from the least to the greatest, saying, this man is the great power of God.
So they saw the same things people see today, that them basically through manipulation of showing, oh, it's just a little tricks. No, man, they're using left hand demons and spirits, okay, and they're fervent and hot. They ain't lukewarm. Because they ain't lukewarm, Satan said, okay, I'm going to grant you, you're going to be able to basically manipulate the elements and do things in front of people's eyes to be as your God.
Yep.
That's why it says, to whom they have heed, they all gave heed from the least to the greatest, saying this man is the great power of God. Nothing new under the sun, man.
They always say they did that all the time too, because they thought Peter was Jupiter. They thought Peter was Zeus. You know what I'm saying? Coming down. Yeah.
All right, verse 11.
Verse 11, and to him they have regard, because that of long time he had bewitched them with sorceries.
And we've been bewitched. That's why we became dry bones. We got bewitched.
Yep.
Man.
Foolish Galatians, who have bewitched you?
Right. We got bewitched. And if it wasn't for the sacrifice of Yahweh Shai, we would still be bewitched.
Right.
Still be dry bones. Okay, dry bones was witchcraft, man. They had us under a spell. We didn't know who we were. We lost our whole identity through witchcraft.
Yep. That's just like how they hypnotize you. Put that shit in front of you, and when you fall asleep, when you wake up, you're gonna be whatever the fuck they say.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And we woke up being niggas. We woke up as spicks and engines. And,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Top running.
Man.
12.
Verse 12, but when they believed Philip preaching the things concerning the kingdom of the Most High, in the name of Yahweh Shai Mashiach, they were baptized, both men and women. Then Simon himself believed also, and when he was baptized, he continued with Philip and wondered, beholding the miracles and signs which were done.
So he put down the witchcraft. He's like, oh snap. So he flipped. But before he was bewitching the people, man, you don't know what. That also shows you that, man, brothers can come from so many walks of life, man. That if you knew the whole scope, you'd be like, damn. Hey, mercy is mercy.
He was even trying to buy it at one point at the beginning of the chapter. He was trying to buy it from him, and then that's when he got cursed out.
Yeah.
And then he repented.
Peter went in on
And
it.
Peter went in on him, then he repented, you know.
Man, that's heavy, man. Now,
You know, at Samaria, I was looking at Samaria, you know, that where you had that Samaria on that scripture where that witchcraft was taking place. You know, when Samuel way back at Endor, right? That place was near, they were near each other too.
Can you repeat?
They were at Endor, the witch Endor.
Okay.
Endor, the actual place, I guess.
Okay.
It was near, I'm looking at it, it was near it where Samaria was. They were in the same area.
Mm.
Like where Issachar
Bunch
was.
of idol worship.
Gotcha.
Manasseh, right in there. Manasseh.
it's a car. Anyway.
It was in that region of the whole world. They were close together.
That's why Ephraim was so heavy into them idols right now too.
Yep. Nothing doing in the sun.
And
Benjamin
Benjamin was right in the area. Endor, Benjamin, they were all there.
Ooh, wow. I can see that. Cause they be on some fucking crazy shit too. Excuse my language.
Wood chip on.
Bro, think about that.
branch on.
The craziest shit is going on over in the
It is, bro.
Some bugged out shit, bro. Like, bro, yeah, the dude got tree lamb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
Like double headed motherfuckers, triple headed motherfuckers. What the fuck is that shit?
Damn.
The wolf kids.
man,
You were bugged
bro,
out, man.
bro, we have been raised in a box. We've been raised in a box.
Yeah.
And we don't really know how to see. We just now coming to know how to see things. And you see how much of a witchcraft was put on us. You know what I'm saying? Because this was normal knowing back in the ancient time.
Yeah.
That's why they will speak about it. You know, things are written for our learning. We read, we say, okay, that was common. Okay, it was common if you sin and something happened to you. Oh, it's because you sinned. You know what I'm saying? Today, it just happened because it happens. So our whole train of thought has been totally screwed up. But now the Lord's opened our mind to get those witchcraft and those spells, enchantments off of us. That's what we're going to.
Esau detached us from our language.
Right, that pure language.
Yeah, pure language.
God,
Detached us. He broke our minds, bro.
man. Whew.
Completely carnal, can't see nothing beyond this shit.
Right,
Beast.
right.
Pass it over.
Oh man.
That's Issachar.
Let's go to Isaiah chapter 19, verse 1.
spirit.
It says, the burden of Egypt. Behold, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt.
Yeah, Egypt meaning the new Egypt. You know what I'm saying? I will bring you again to Egypt with ships, this time by ships. A.K.A. America, which is spiritually known Egypt, spiritually known Sodom and Gomorrah, etc., etc. Go ahead.
And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
Go ahead.
And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom.
Now, part of knowing, also connecting that this is the new Egypt again, is the magicians, the witchcraft. You see, that goes back to ancient Egypt, man.
All of them.
The enchantments. Go ahead.
But
You
where
go
did they get their gods from? Sumeria, Assyria, Babylon.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That Samaria area where Abraham, that region was basically the hub of idol worship. You know, Nimrod, you know,
Yeah.
over there in that area. Yeah, that was the hub of witchcraft and all of that. That's why this is daughter of Babylon.
Right. And all it's doing is recycling through generation to generation. It's coming back.
Yeah, I seen it.
Like the prophets, generation to generation coming back. Nothing new under the sun.
It's out of Egypt.
Yeah, Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay,
The Big Bang Theory goes back to Babylon. Evolution, all this stuff really stems from Babylon. You see what I'm saying?
Con.
That's how you know this is the daughter of Babylon.
Con.
Shalom.
So, let's read 3.
It says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to hide the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards.
Hey, I'll read that verse again.
Verse 3 says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof.
So remember, this is a prophecy. Before it said the Lord gonna come down with that great cloud. Right? Go ahead.
It says, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits.
Witches conjure up demons. So they're gonna try to conjure up demons to stop it. What's going on? It ain't gonna work. Why? Because he's gonna cut it off. Just like he cut the magicians off in ancient Egypt. He only let them go so far until he showed them, nope, I'm in control. That's exactly what it's going into. So they think because their enchantments have been working, but it's only working according to Yahweh's will, not their own. That's why it says, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. Read verse 4.
Verse 4 says, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, saith Yahweh of hosts.
So when Babylon is getting destroyed, and those plagues are getting on Babylon as before, remember the Lord said He's gonna bring Egypt. I think it's 2 Kings 15. He's gonna bring plagues on Egypt as before. They're gonna be trying to do witchcraft, the same thing they was trying to do back then. When certain things, we can do it too. We got power. But the Lord gonna swallow them up, like you said earlier about the snakes. The Aaron's snakes swallowed the magician snakes. That's what in the spirit we finna see that happen on a large scale, because they're gonna be going hard on enchantments as they see this shit crumbling, and they see us rising and rising and rising. I mean, we waking up every day non-stop, regardless if he got Levin's doctrine. Regardless, they see Israel as a whole waking up to be in Israel at least.
They looking at the whole nation.
The whole nation.
They looking at the whole nation.
Right.
Hey, I got a precept. Yeah, I was just backing up what you just said about the different enchantments. The left and the right. This is Exodus 7 and 11. It says, then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers, now the magicians of Egypt. They also did in like manner with their enchantments. For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rod swallowed up their rods. So that's what you're talking about in the time that we're in right now. Exodus, the 7th chapter. The true the spirit on the right hand side is gonna swallow up all of those left hand divinations, man. You know,
That's right. That's right. That's beautiful, man. That's man.
Yep. Keep reading in that Isaiah 19 for me real quick.
Come.
Hey, can I jam one in real quick?
Go ahead.
It's Ezekiel 21 and 21. For the king of Babylon stood at the parting of the way, at the head of the two ways, to use divination. He made his arrows bright. He consulted with images. He looked in the liver. And that's what they do. These divinations, that's an ancient Babylonian custom that goes, when they said the liver, it's an ancient priest called a Baku. They used to take the liver and chop it into pieces, and each one of them pieces of liver used to stand for a different deity that they pray for them people. And I think, they doing that shit still to the day.
Where you at?
Mm-hmm.
That's Ezekiel 21:21.
Because if you a nigga, bro, you like, this shit is amazing. Why I gotta suffer? I could just do this shit, get this money. That's all I gotta do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Jake's saying. Keep reading.
God, that's Isaiah chapter 19, and I'll read verse 5. It says, "And the water shall fail from the sea, and the river shall be wasted and dried up."
Right. The river shall be wasted and dried up. And ultimately, just like we have living waters, Esau has his waters, bro. Just like we have a new song, Esau has his song. So that rivers are being dried up. Esau's wisdom is being made bare before the whole world. Keep going.
God. Verse 6 it says, "And they shall turn the rivers far away, and the brooks of defense shall be emptied and dried up."
Emptied and dried up. That's what's happening to Esau's wisdom. Go ahead.
It says, "The reeds and flax shall wither." Verse 7, "The paper reeds by the brooks, by the mouth of the brooks, and everything sown by the brooks shall wither, be driven away."
Brooks is like, that's like a sea. That's like a body of water.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Esau has his living water. Satan has living waters too, bro.
God.
Keep going.
It says, "It shall wither, be driven away, and be no more." Verse 8 says, "The fishers also shall mourn."
The fishers shall mourn. Now, real quick, please, somebody can have Habakkuk 1 and like the last two verses or something like that. Then I got one more precept and I'll stop. And Jake take over. The fishers shall mourn. Go ahead.
Habakkuk 1
Go ahead.
and it was 16.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
15. They take up all of them with the angle.
What's the angle? It's like a hook. Satan has his hooks. Satan is fishing too. You know what I'm saying?
They catch them in their net and gather them in their drag. Therefore they rejoice and are glad.
They talk about the Chaldeans. You know how they trap people up in their witchcraft and their wickedness. Go ahead.
Therefore they sacrifice unto their net and burn incense unto their drag.
That's right. That's these elites. That's those magicians. And I'll finish it off with this. Isaiah 11 and 15. The Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea. And with his mighty wind shall he shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the 7 streams and make men go over dry shod. So the Lord is going to make a way for us, because this shit seems impossible. How will we overcome this shit?
Right. Save it, man.
He's gonna make a way, you know what I'm saying? Just like he destroyed just like he parted the seas that we had passed over, he's gonna make a way for us to get out of this situation.
Woo, man.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Huh?
What was that verse?
Isaiah 11 and 15.
Y'all mind if I bring just going into the river? Their wisdom. This is Ezekiel chapter 31, starting at verse 2. It says, "Son of man, speak unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and to his multitude, who armed like thy in thy greatness. Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon, with fair branches, and with a shadowing shroud, and of high stature, and his top was among the thick boughs." Key point. "The waters made him great. The deep set him on high, with her rivers running round about his plants, and set out her little rivers unto all the trees of the field. And like y'all read the precepts out right there, just going into how those rivers are going to be evaporated pretty much, you know, through the Spirit. That was it on that one pretty much.
Hey, can somebody read Isaiah 47, starting at verse 8? Somebody started 8 right there.
Isaiah, the 47th chapter, and the 8th verse, it says, "Therefore hear now this, O that are given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that says in thy heart, I am a higher."
Wow. Ooh, my goodness.
That's what Esau saying.
Yeah.
You got Israelite groups saying that too.
Taking hold of it.
It's witchcraft too.
And none else besides me. Did we conjure up one of them motherfuckers?
Look at Jake got a tail sticking out his mouth. The eyes like slip it up like a piece of spaghetti. That was funny.
That's probably that cat in front of my house.
LeBron. Look in your bag, it's a tail.
I am, and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children.
Because he think the left hand side, right? Because he's all proud because of the power that he got from it. He think he's unstoppable now because of what the right hand side has allowed him to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The Most High has allowed him to do on the left hand side. Go ahead.
All right. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day: the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come up thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantment.
Great abundance of witchcraft, man. Great.
In one day you're gonna lose all that.
You lose all that. Oh man. Go ahead, verse 10.
That's the true fall off. All right. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness. Thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee.
On the left hand side, that portal that opened to do that magic and mix up the hair and do this, it has perverted them.
That's that wine.
And they trust in it because they have gained the wicked, the hand. What's Job 9:24? The earth is given to the hand of the wicked by witchcraft, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he gained it. Enchantments, abundance of great enchantments. Go ahead.
He says, thy wisdom and thy knowledge it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, where am I at?
Verse 10.
Okay, I am, and none else besides me. Okay, he said it again.
Mm-hmm.
It says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know whence it riseth.
That's right.
And mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off.
Hey, if I could say this, because their ways are engulfing them. You know, according to Psalms, the 64th chapter, the ways in which they believe in is engulfing them. And a huge part of that is the whole concept of free will. There is no free will. There's either rebellion or death. They paint it as free will, that you have a choice to serve God. You don't have a choice. It's either you are or you aren't, or you're going to be destroyed. And so with that philosophy, that he uses that to engulf the whole world and to reduce people to do what thou will, because it's your choice. Even accepting Christ, I believe so. I know that I'm a child of God. Matter of fact, I'm part of Israel because of my belief. Because I choose to.
That shit's proud.
That was like old boy last night. He said, I'm not no Gentile. I've been adopted into the house of God. That's what he said. I'm not a Gentile. I've been adopted in.
Right.
Says who? That witchcraft didn't work last night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was throwing Jesus like a fucking 105-mile-per-hour fastball. We knocked that shit through the spirit. We knocked that shit out of the goddamn park, man. You know what I'm saying? Because them enchantments ain't working no more, like you saying. They just figure if we just keep on saying it, say Jesus, say Jesus, say Jesus, say Jesus, you're going to get all 25 of us to just say Jesus and pack up. Absolutely the fuck not.
It don't work.
Yeah.
Right, it's over. It's over, man.
That's what I'm saying. 'Cause we can't get them to say Yahweh Shai.
Right.
So how they gonna get us to say Jesus?
Right.
All right, and mischief shall fall upon thee, and thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantment.
Stand now with your enchantment, with your witchcraft. You gain the earth, you gain all the world, you destroyed the earth, turn it upside down. Now stand with it now. Go ahead.
All right, and stand and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so, thou mayest prevail.
I'm saying the verse above, in verse 11, he telling you your witchcraft ain't gonna work.
Right.
In verse 11, he said, look, all this. He said, therefore evil shall come upon thee, that thou shalt not. You're not gonna know. Your witchcraft ain't gonna let you know where it's coming from. Your witchcraft ain't gonna let you know. Your witchcraft ain't gonna get you out of this mischief. Your witchcraft is not. You're not gonna be able to put it off. I don't give a fuck what you summon. It ain't gonna work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And then they say, so go get your incense, go get your cow's blood, go get whatever you gonna get. I'm finna crush you.
Right.
Con.
Right.
This reminds me of Wisdom of Solomon, the 17th chapter, where it goes into vivid detail on how a lot of those Egyptians got put to death because they were seeing a lot of demons, a lot of different things, and those are the same spirits that they were conjuring. You know, the Heavenly Father used those demons they were conjuring and put it upon their own heads.
Right.
You know, so it's very interesting to see how it's going to play out on this time in Newer Egypt.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Just remember we were researching the God particle and electricity and everything about a year ago. You know, you have the God particle over in Switzerland, and what the God particle is pretty much a particle accelerator, which pretty much ran through, and they practiced it. And pretty much they said when they ran through it, a portal was opened up, and they actually seen apparitions and they seen demons.
Right.
And then they said they stopped doing it. But when they actually practice running it, they actually have a Hindu statue of Shiva in front of the building. And when they summon it, they actually do those dances, pretty much a satanic dance that they do, which summons those spirits. But they said when they ran it for the first time, you can research it, but they ran it for the first time, they actually seen apparitions and demons, and they cut that shit off. You know what I'm
Like
saying?
you watching when you watch The Flash.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? When the particle accelerator exploded, it opened up all these portals to where demons could come from no matter where.
Yep.
They all come into Earth. That veil was moved back so they could easily get to this mug, man.
That's right.
With that whole particle accelerator shit.
That's right.
Warcraft, it was like the Warcraft too.
See?
Hey, and Doctor Strange.
Yep.
Strange.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying? He would tell, look, just believe it. Believe on this left hand side and watch it open up for you.
Right.
All these movies show you, man.
I think they got like something called CERN. It's like
It's
the government
CERN.
program.
That's
that
exactly what it is. My man.
All right, let's read verse 13.
Yep.
Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers and the stargazers and the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee.
Right, the seers on the left hand side, basically. Let them stand up. Okay?
Alter the Holy Spirit.
Right. It's witchcraft.
Do it. If you can.
Right.
You can't.
Showing that the Most High shows he control everything. See, these other nations have always been witchcraft. We're the only ones that were in the spirit, and he said, don't go over there.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you go over there, they're going to swallow you up. Unless you repent, I'm going to allow them to swallow you up. And the whole earth is going to be ran by witches. Versus righteous priests and kings. That's heavy, man. And I got a couple more. It's in Revelation 21:8. I'll read it. But the fearful and unbelieving and abominable and the murderers and the whoremongers and the sorcerers, okay, and the idolaters and the liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. We know the first death was the drowning, you know, the flood during Noah's time. The second death, these sorcerers, man, they gonna die, man. Okay, and really, like the scriptures say, he said rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft. So you can look at all these other ones that don't say sorcerer as witches.
This is rebellion as witchcraft.
Yeah. So they witches too.
That means rebellion is synonymous with witchcraft.
Yep.
Witchcraft.
Straight up.
Murders against the law, Whoremonger is against the law. Sorcery is against the law. Idolatry is against the law. Lying is against the law.
It's all witchcraft.
All witchcraft.
Because it's left hand side.
There you go.
Altering somebody's. When you lie, you really altering reality.
Yep.
To somebody.
Hey, it said being fearful it was in there too. So not believing in Yahweh Bashim Shah or not believing in his will is considered witchcraft.
That's right. That's in Hebrews 3:6. It talks about how they harden their hearts, and it said for they wicked, unbelieving mind. You know?
Why though? Because you're pleasing the left hand side, which is Satan.
Yep.
You pleasing Satan, not believing in the right hand side. So basically, you a witch.
Witch.
You might be a low level witch. You ain't making stuff appear and disappear, but hey, you might as well be doing it.
Sorry ass witch.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You whack ass witch.
Rudy Poop.
Rudy Poop. Rudy Poop with your witch ass.
Sprinkle seasons.
Yeah.
Rudy Poop.
Everybody else got every race.
He tapped into that shit. He went crazy.
Yeah, yep.
Man, we're crazy.
Like
maniac.
Gargamel, like he kept fucking with his figuring out a way to. He just kept trying to figure out ways to fuck with Jacob using the left hand. Like,
Yep.
Yeah, he got. So when he talks about his wisdom is on the left hand side, which is not the full wisdom, but he has knowledge on how to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
All right, let's go to Micah chapter 5, verse 10 through 12.
Click on that royal blue.
I'll read it. Micah chapter 5, verse 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots, and I will cut off the cities of thy land, and throw down all thy strongholds, and I will cut off witchcrafts out of thy hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers.
And that's what's about to happen, man.
It's happening now.
Right? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let you hold enchantments over my people forever.
Ever, yeah.
But you thought in your heart, like it says in Psalm 49:11, their inward thought is that the houses shall continue forever. Through what? Through enchantments. That's the only way they can continue.
Yep.
But we know it ain't gonna go forever because the Lord gonna put a stop to it.
Right.
Yeah, cool, go ahead.
Exodus 22:18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
Straight up.
Right.
Right there.
Plain.
Right.
Say it again.
Exodus 22:18. Thou shalt not suffer a witch to live.
They got to roll. Kill them.
So we're gonna take them all out. That's why Esau's gonna have the ultimate judgment right there.
What is that again?
Exodus 22:18.
Yeah, because I remember like back in school, they used going into like the Salem witch trials.
Mm-hmm.
They used to have like witch hunts. They was trying to get rid of the witches, man, because you got to put a witch to death.
Yep. You know, burning them at the stake,
Yeah.
tie them up, set their ass on fire.
What's crazy was the people who were actually murdering the people that were accusing were the witches. It turns out that most of them were innocent.
Mm-hmm.
That shows that propaganda that Esau spreads against people when really he's the corporate behind everything that he's accusing other people of.
That's witchcraft.
Terrorists.
Yeah, that's witchcraft right there.
The water.
That shit
Solomon got into all of this.
He sure did. Yep.
All right, let's read Isaiah 8:19. Now, really pay attention to this, man. This goes heavy once you go into the words of it. Okay, it says Isaiah chapter 8, verse 19. And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, demons, and unto wizards that peep. That peep. What are they peeping into?
Spiritual world.
On the left hand side.
Soothsayers. That's bad.
Right. That you that peep and that mutter, should not a people seek unto the God for the living to the dead. Now let's go into peep and mutter in the blue letter real quick.
And where were they at? Assyria, Babylon.
Yeah, man.
Because Assyria.
It's pronounced Taza Pop.
Okay. To peep, to chirp, peep of birds of ghosts. Okay, you peeping into seeing spirits and talking to spirits. That's why those magicians said that they have those books and different magazines where Satan is whispering in their ear.
Mm-hmm.
The spirit's talking to them, giving them instructions. Okay, the demons are supping with them. Okay, with us on the right hand side, Yahweh Shem Shai is supping with us with the Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yep, I was saying they conjure them demons with the incense and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Y'all remember that Ouija board? Mm-hmm. You know, you got all the letters, and then it was that magnifying glass right there that was shaped like the all-seeing eye with the pyramid. You know what I'm saying? You know, another form of that peeping.
Also the crystal ball, that carnal urinary throne that they use. And, Doomsayers, tarot cards and shit.
Yep.
All right. So let's go to mutter and that one. He goes mutter.
Haggah.
All right. To moan, growl, utter, mutter, meditate, devise, plot, speak. Because those witches, you know, when they be conjuring those, like those scary movies, quote unquote, when they be conjuring those demons, they be talking and chanting words and different things like that, right? Now check out. Now let's go into the Google on mutter.
That's the first thing I thought about.
Okay, on Google, mutter. Say something in a low or barely audible voice, especially in a dissatisfaction or irritation. He muttered something under his breath, murmur, whisper. That's what they be doing. You know, their voices be moving, and that's what these people in the world, most of our people, man, they be doing. Those putting on hands, and and saying all kinds of. What are you saying, man?
Demons.
Well, they know what they doing on the left hand side. What are you talking about?
It sound like Chucky. You remember
Yeah.
when Chucky put his spirit into that doll? That whole seance that he did, and them words it's.
Oh yeah, Chucky. Yeah, I remember. Okay.
Yeah, he
was
transferred
serious.
his spirit because he was dying. He transferred his spirit into the doll.
Right. I
You know what I'm
remember
saying? With that left hand BS.
Give me the power right back of
Yeah, you remember that language he was speaking?
Right.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Y'all remember that movie Apocalypto?
Yeah. Yep.
You
So
remember
do.
when they got out there and they cut the heart out and then they handed it to the witch doctor?
They
He
sure
like,
did. Yep.
Muttering.
Turn around and put that shit on the fire.
Yep.
And shit. You remember that?
I sure do.
Yeah,
And
he was muttering.
He was buttered, yeah.
the sun, it turned red and everything. Yeah, it was an
Buttered, like, when
eclipse.
he got that heart, he was like,
Yeah, sure enough.
That's it.
You know what? One of them is his muse, which goes into music. You know what I'm saying? That's how they use that witchcraft now. But what it got now, that mumble rap shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Witchcraft, man. Repeat, making you in a trance. It's putting you in a trance.
Right.
And what I say,
Demonic
man,
trance.
a muse is also where you get your inspiration from.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like our muse is Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. That's why we do what we do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Your muse is why you do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you on the left hand side, just like these musicians that sell out and all that, they muse is Satan. Just like the Apostle Elder Gabar went into the whole music thing on how it's all sun worship, it's all this, it's all that. Their muse is Satan.
Right.
And they use their muse as Satan to make their music.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How they what John Todd when he came out, he talked about how they take the album, they put it in the room, they do all these spells over it, then they release it to the public.
God.
You see?
God.
Man. Woo-wee.
I got a precept.
Okay, real quick. I got you.
This Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because there are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, and the sound of grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. And when you go on to that verse of all the daughters of music shall be brought low, this is all going into pretty much a sequence of events that'll take place before the ultimate destruction. And as the elder just stated, going into the music, you know what I mean, how it's all mumble rap and they do all the spells. It's a low vibration of music, but it's putting demons on these people, man.
Absolutely.
You know?
Hey, you know it is because when our people go to the clubs, all of a sudden they want to kill people, want to hurt somebody. Like,
Yeah.
why you want to do all these things, man? Now they evil anyway, but those spirits bring out more evil in them to do it, man. It really invokes them to go ahead and shoot a person. Go ahead.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, Tyrone been wanting to shoot a person for a couple years now. He bought a gun. When that music came on at that club, he was waiting for a nigga to find out to shoot. At the club, outside the club.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Watch him trying to get him to mug so he can mug so he can have an excuse. A lot of that music be bringing that on, man.
Yeah.
Songs of adultery. You know, that's pretty. That's why you listen to sex music when you get ready to pop your woman. You put on R. Kelly. You don't put on no damn
Lil Jon
or Rock DMC. No, you put in Silk and you gonna put all that to get in that spirit to get in that mood.
Thanks for the NWA, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The police come straight from the underground. This nigga got jackets on ground.
All right.
I got something.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh. Go.
Number 23 and 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, Neither is there any divination against Israel.
Right.
Talk about that remnant.
Yep.
Crazy.
Talking about that remnant, man.
Israel God.
And you know it is because when you read Proverbs 1, it says that they shall die. The fruit of the what? They shall die by their own devices.
Mm-hmm.
You got a lot of Jake that's into witchcraft, but they gonna die by it.
Yep.
Especially Levi.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Showing you why they heavy into it because they know it's real.
Yep.
But then they the lowest on the earth. But they still, they still going heavy in that witchcraft. Man.
Those are the priests. They just turned into priests on the left hand side.
Yeah, hold on.
That's why they
God.
got ass off the bone right now.
Zaquan, you got the scripture?
Yeah, Ezekiel 28 and 1, I mean and 13. Speaking of Satan, prince of tyrants, Esau, Edom. It said, "Thou hast been in Eden," all right, the garden of God, basically the world, was given into the hand of the wicked. Esau's blessing being lived out.
Which indoor?
What you come over here to tell us, man? What you bring us over here to tell us? A cat? You got a Komodo dragon? Oh, shit. We gonna let him in?
Honey badger.
A honey badger. Wow. Oh, shit. Ezekiel 28. God.
It's getting crazy, man.
You know what?
Cherry is knocking on the door.
Man, bro.
Oh, boy.
Ezekiel 28 and 13. All right. And when you come in and class is going on, you ain't got to just say shalom to brothers after class, but when you get in, just salute everybody. Because just let the class flow.
Con.
Just to salute, don't salute. And then when a brother is speaking at camp, don't salute him.
Con.
Don't salute him. Just wait until later, find opportunity, and then you salute.
Con.
Ezekiel 28 and 13, it says, "Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God, the world." All right. Every precious stone was thy covering. He had control of the world, but he's using these things for left-hand means.
Right.
All right. The sardius, the topaz, and the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, and the jasper, and the sapphire, and the emerald, the carbuncle, and gold, the workmanship of thy tabrets, and thy pipes. Music. He had control over the music.
Right.
To destroy people. Like people say Satan was over music. Well, this is what he has his song, man. Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He got control over music, man. You can destroy a whole nation by doing that shit, bro.
Right.
God.
We read that scripture the other day.
Spirits, got spirits on it.
Remember we read that scripture about
Probably.
Esau had the music?
Right. Yeah. Cain.
Yeah, we read
Cain,
that.
yeah.
Mm.
His family line was in the music and shit. But it says, the workmanship of thy tabrets and thy pipes was prepared in thee the day thou was created. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth. I have said unto thee, thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. So the Lord gave him that power, man.
Mm-hmm. God.
Ooh-wee. Now, something you got real quick?
It was just a quick point because one of the brothers over there pointed out the Levitical priesthood and everything. How I was over it. That scripture I brought out in Ecclesiastes 12 about the daughters of music. When you go into that word music, is pronounced shayar, shayar, and it says a song, lyric song, religious song, song of Levitical choirs. And the Levites were the priests, right? Where Esau has his own priesthood that he does those songs by. And they conjure up spirits, So just wanted, he brought up that point, and I wanted to go into that,
You can grab this one right quick. Yeah. This is the descendants of Cain, right? So I'm going to go to the 19th chapter, and it says, Lamech took unto him 2 wives, the name of one wife Adah, and the name of the other Zillah. And Adah bare Jabal. He was the father of such as dwell in tents, and of such as have cattle. And his brother name was Jubal. He is the father of all such that handle the harp and organ. That's Esau's lineage.
This is lineage.
Wait.
Man, okay.
Yeah,
Genesis what chapter?
4. Cain. That's Cain.
So when he be playing that shit, that shit is demonic.
Yeah, very demonic.
That rock and roll.
Them big ass pipes.
Yeah.
Demons,
man. Demons.
They came from Jake too.
Right.
The original rock and roll came from Jake.
But he took it and just ruined it.
He took it right.
6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, real
They
all
got
rock.
that screamo.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, that heavy metal shit, that's very good.
Demonic.
Oh, man.
Play that shit backwards, you know what I'm saying? You can hear them talking to Satan, all type of shit.
Yeah, it's very coded on the left hand side. For sure.
That shit all loud and yeah, that shit crazy.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna do here. We're gonna end it on this story so we can wrap it up. So whoever got the lungs, it's not a lot. We're gonna go from 1 Samuel 28, starting at verse 7 to verse 19. So we ain't gonna really interrupt. So if we're reading, just kind of read through it. We're gonna quickly get through
I'll go through it.
All right, go ahead.
1 Samuel 28:7. It says, Then said Saul unto his servants, Seek me a woman that hath a familiar spirit,
A witch, go ahead.
that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said to him, Behold, there is a woman that hath a familiar spirit at Endor.
Now we know at this point, because Saul, you know, he was closed off to the right hand side through his wickedness.
Yep.
So he said, man, you know what, let me go to the left hand side.
Yeah.
Surely that would be opened up to me.
He tried to come up another way.
He tried to come another way. A thief and a robber.
There you go.
What's crazy?
Go ahead.
What's crazy? I think if you read up, he had actually got all of these
Yes.
people who use the familiar spirits out
Yep.
of the land.
And that's what's gonna go to when you keep reading. She reminds him.
Oh, it's down.
Yeah, well, no, it's up there too. But I'm saying she reminds him when you go from here because she was scared.
Right.
You know. Go ahead.
This is in verse 8. It says, And Saul disguised himself and put on other raiment, and he went and 2 men with him, and they came to the woman by night. And he said, I pray thee, divine unto me by the familiar spirit, and bring me him up, who I shall name unto thee.
Proving they knew witchcraft was real. They knew that. They knew what was capable on the left hand side. Otherwise, he wouldn't go to it. But when he kicked all the witches out, he was on the right hand side. He knew it was evil, wicked. He was in the right spirit then to do that. When that right hand left, that shows you what. When the right hand side leave you and all those demons come on you, man, you capable of doing all kinds of just crazy demonic madness. Go ahead, Doc.
Verse 9, And the woman said unto him, Behold, thou knowest what Saul hath done, how he had cut off those that have familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. Wherefore then layest thou a snare for my life to cause me to die? And Saul swore to her by the Lord, saying, As the Lord liveth, there shall no punishment happen to thee for this thing. Then said the woman, Who shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, Bring me up Samuel.
Bro, that's cold, man.
That's crazy, man.
You mean to tell me she had the capability to do that, man?
Right.
Yeah.
Nothing new under the sun.
Yeah. She did that.
Those same spirits here, man.
Cleo.
Yeah. Oh, man. Calm me now.
Dionne Warwick used to be Dionne Warwick. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Cleo's a Benjamin.
Yeah.
No, I'm playing.
And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice, and the woman spake to Saul, saying, Why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, Be not afraid, for what sawest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth.
She saw it, man.
Wow.
Because she was already tapped. She already had the knowledge on the left hand side to be tapped into that mess, man. Like people are today. All right, verse 14. Go ahead.
And he said unto her, What form is he of? And she said, An old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped his face to the ground and bowed himself.
Could you imagine that scene?
Man.
Like these are things that's happening in real time. See, Jake will read this and be like, think it's a Harry Potter novel. Yeah, there's some witchcraft in that too. But the thing, this happened.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? This is the history, you know, of our people. We see when our people goes off, like what they were doing, man. I mean, go ahead, Doc.
And Samuel said to Saul, Why hast thou disquieted me to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore distressed, for the Philistines make war against me, and the Most High is departed from me, and answereth me no more.
Now remember, on the right hand side, what do Yahushua do? I think after the miracle, I forgot was it. I know, he was rising the dead. But remember the scripture where he said that many saints came out of the graves. And walked.
Yep.
I forgot the exact scripture, but that's on the right hand side.
Mm-hmm.
You got right, you got left, man. You know what I'm saying? They can both do powerful things.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, the left is going to lose. That's the point.
Exactly. Like
there's judgment for that.
Like I read in Exodus 7 and 12, it talks about how Aaron's serpents ate up those ones of those wise men of Egypt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. We in 15, and it says, "And answereth me no more, neither by prophets nor by dreams. Therefore I have called thee, that thou mayest make known unto me what I shall do." Then said Samuel, "Wherefore then dost thou ask of me, seeing the Lord is departed from thee, and is become thine enemy? And the Lord hath done to him as he spake by me. For the Lord hath rent the kingdom out of thine hand, and given it to thy neighbor, even to David. Because thou obeyest not the voice of the Lord, nor executest his fierce wrath upon Amalek. Therefore hath the Lord done this thing to this day."
Go ahead.
And that was, he didn't kill Agag.
Right.
Samuel had to do it.
He went through all that to summon Samuel back up to get bad news.
Mm-hmm.
He got the worst news he could have gotten.
Right, man. like that ain't gonna help you if you already cut off on the right hand side. What makes you think going to the left hand side gonna be good news?
Right.
It's gonna be worse than news because you went to witchcraft.
Them demons he had on him made him do it.
Them demons,
Man.
heart. The Lord hardened his heart. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
What, verse 19?
19.
Yeah, we're
Because
gonna
thou
end this.
obeyest not the voice of the Lord. 19, Salaki. Moreover, the Lord will also deliver Israel with thee into the hand of the Philistines. And tomorrow shalt thou and thy sons be with me. The Lord also shall deliver the host of Israel into the hand of the Philistines.
That's what I'm saying, man. So for that whole next day, he was just waiting to die.
Right, man. Right, man. Right.
Then he killed himself.
But he knew that he cast the witches out, so he knew he had to pay for that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He was in a deeper hole because of that.
Yep.
He knew that, man. Because how you go from casting the witch out to seeking after the witch because you were cut off on the right hand side. So, if we're gonna end this,
he said you and your sons finna die.
And with that,
let's give praise to Yahweh.
Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakha Kodash.
Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to Yahweh.
Shalom.
Shalom.